This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Coming up on tonight's show, how important is it to really know yourself? We often purposely consume our time with activities that will distract us from undergoing self-analysis. Most of the time, this lack of purpose is generated by the simple fact of not knowing who you really are. The awakening of self-knowledge is essential. This is how they will achieve their purpose, with the certainty that they are on the right path. Our guest today will be talking about her experience and how important a transformation was in her life. All this and much more in tonight's show.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's Finding Answers. Now, we have a very interesting topic for you tonight, and I want you to take a look at this picture now on your screen. As you can see, there is a horse tied to a chair. And this picture relates to tonight's story, tonight's real life story that's on our program. Before we speak about this, have a look at this real life story of someone who used their faith to beat their problems.
Life in the beginning seemed like it was spiraling downwards. I had so many addictions. I was addicted to pornography. I was sleeping around. My house was broken. There was constant fights in my house. It just seemed like there was no way out for me. You know, I was failing in my studies. I had no future. I had no prospects. I had no plan for my life. And it just seemed like, you know, hell just broke loose in my house, and there was just no other way for me to go than to continue the life that I was living. But then I had a friend who actually showed me that there was hope. He believed in me. Someone believed in me. And honestly speaking, before then, I didn't have no vision of hope. I didn't believe that something good can happen until when he gave me an opportunity. You know, he gave me advice and told me that, you know, my life could actually move forward, and that the life that I was living wasn't the life that I didn't have to live that kind of life. So today, I'm no longer addicted to pornography. My family's restored. My future's looking brighter. I'm not failing in my studies anymore, but I'm actually doing really well.
Welcome back to Finding Answers. Now, with me tonight is Pastor Raymar. Good evening, Pastor Raymar.
Good evening, Pastor.
How are you doing?
Very, very good.
Now, tonight's topic is knowing who you are, right? And I showed you a picture just before the testimony, and I'd like just to put it on the screen again. Let's have a look at this here. And as you can see, there's a horse tied to a chair. And as I said, it relates to tonight's topic, knowing who you are. And Pastor Raymar, there are people who are like this horse tied to a chair, right?
Exactly. Everything is really inside of them. What they have learned, what they have experienced. It's like life brings certain things to people, and they learn to accept that situation or that condition, that problem starts to define them. Mm-hmm. Because, for example, these horses like this because it's used to being tied.
Yes.
And now in this situation, it thinks that it's tied to something that is not going to be able to move. And maybe that is you. Maybe you have failed before. Maybe you have been, you know, put down many times. Maybe you have faced a lot of setback. And this person, Pastor Michael, think that there's no way out for them now.
Yeah,
this person give up on themselves.
You know, you are that horse. And as you can see in the picture, it's the horse tied to that plastic child's chair. That horse, all it needs to do is take one step backwards, and that chair will go flying. But unfortunately, it has been conformed, right? It's probably a horse that has been mistreated, has been told, you know what, or shown, you're going to be tied to this post and you have to stay there. And it's been like that for many years. And maybe problems in your life, situations that you have faced has got you tied to this plastic chair. Situations have told you, you know what? You don't deserve any better. You can't move from this position. You have to accept this misery in your life. You have to accept this health problem. And these negative things that have happened in your life have tied up your life. You can't move. It's like, I can't better myself. I can't move forward. And maybe this is how your life is. But we're here to say, Pastor Raymer, that this person, through faith, their life can take a new direction, a positive direction in life, if they know who they are.
They know the power that is inside of them. Because there's a strength inside of them. Doesn't matter if this person is sick. Maybe you are sick on a bed right now. And physically you have no strength. Your body is sick, but there's a strength inside of you called faith. That if you exercise this faith, can help this person to overcome, Pastor Michael. Maybe this person in a relationship that they have been told, that they've been abused, and they hear that you are not, nobody's going to love you. Nobody's going to accept you with children after you have been through all of what you have been through. But there's a power inside of you, and that is the power that we have seen people using, Pastor Michael, and it changed their life. And God put this power inside of the person. God wants to show this person how they can use it and get positive results. And that's exactly what this program is about. So if you are in this situation, feeling yourself tied, my friend, you are in the right place, because you are going to realize how your life can change tonight.
Knowing who you are, right? When you don't know who you are, for example, my guest for this evening, things started off at a very young age when she was bullied. And of course, when you're bullied, it has an effect on how you behave. It has an effect on what you do, on your self-esteem. And if you grow up thinking that, you know what, you are weak, if you think that you are lesser than other people, it's going to have other negative effects on your life. And maybe this is your life. Problems, not just people, but problems, situations are bullying you, are pushing you in a corner, and you don't know how to get out of that corner. You've given in to these problems. You've accepted this is the way that my life should be. But as we said, through faith, if you knew the power that's already inside of you, it's like a sleeping lion. You just need to awaken that faith, that sleeping lion, and there'll be nothing that will ever hold you back. So on tonight's program, which is titled, Knowing Who You Are. If you don't know who you are, if you've lost your identity, then we're going to help you. We're going to show you the way. And then it'll be up to you, through faith, to get your identity back, right? To know who you are, instead of being easily influenced by other people, easily influenced by situations in your life. You make the wrong choices, the wrong decisions every time. Maybe that's why your life is the way that it is today. If you want our help, then the number is on the screen. You can give us a call and speak to one of our advisors. The number is 0207 686 6300. 0207 686 6300. If you want to email me about tonight's topic, you want to send me an email with your problem, whatever you're going through, then you can. You just email it at Michael. Just say, Dear Michael, and then tell me your problems. The email address on your screen, it's help@findinganswers.tv. You can also search for us on our past programs on YouTube. You can search Finding Answers. You can also go on Twitter and also on Instagram and see pictures of, behind the scenes here in our studios in North London. All right? So if you are going through anything now, we've just given you our contact details. Contact us tonight. As I said, we'll be willing to help you. And don't forget, at the end of the program, there will be a prayer for you. We'll be praying for you to help you. Pastor Raymer, God, when a person is lost their self-esteem, they don't believe in themselves anymore, then God is able, God can and is willing to enter that person's life and not do everything for them, but help them, guide them in the right direction, right?
Of course, Pastor. And I don't know if they can put this picture again, but let's put this picture again, and this person is going to look at this and is going to imagine. What is it that is holding you? What is it that is tying up your life? Let's say it's a sickness, let's say it's a problem, let's say it's a relationship problem. This person, Pastor, has been strong enough to do many things that they never even realized that they have been doing. This person that is maintaining an addiction has been, they find condition to maintain their addiction. Sometimes they bend themselves over for people in their relationship, for their partners. Sometimes they do so many things. It's like the horse. The horse is used sometimes to pull so much heavy weight. And now it's tied to a chair and it's fixed there. Maybe this person has been strong enough in so many situations. They don't realize the power that they have, the strength that they have, the power that they have been put into self-harming, because it takes a lot of strength. This person that is self-harming themselves, that is harming themselves, it takes a lot of energy for them to do that. But how many times have they done that? Over and over and over. But to change the situation, they don't use the same strength. This horse can use the same strength that he used to pull a car, to pull a truck, to pull whatever they put on it, can use it to change. But if it doesn't realize, it doesn't take an action, if it doesn't do something different, it's going to remain there, Pastor Michael. And that is what we are helping these people to do tonight. Think about this picture, my friend. What is it that is holding you back? What is the strength that you have inside of you? What have you been doing that, maybe has been destroying yourself and destroying others? You are going to learn how to turn this power around tonight. You're going to learn how to turn this strength around and to help you to make a difference in your life. I'm sure, Pastor Michael, that this program is going to really bless many people.
It will do. So please stay with us. As we said, tonight's topic is knowing who you are. We're going to go for a break now. When we come back, we're going to meet my guest for this evening who did not know who she was. Stay with us.
I was depressed for many years, but not anymore. And now it's my turn to help you lead a happier and healthier life.
Watch The Chrissy B Show on My TV.
Melting polar ice caps, droughts, and rising sea levels. Climate change brings global disasters, and human activities are part of the problem. But people around the world are looking for ways to address the threat.
Watch Global 3000 on My TV. Latest digital inventions, cyber concerns, and much more uncovered in Shift. Everything you need to know about the modern digital world. Watch Shift on My TV. Meet the amazing SUV Jaguar, the stylish Fiat, a vintage VW, a sporty Honda, and the Green Smart ED. Drive it, test it, know it. We have cars for any taste. Explore vehicles and their features with our weekly show. Watch Drive It on My TV.
Welcome back to Finding Answers. If you just joined us, tonight's topic is knowing who you are. I would like to introduce you to my guest for this evening. Her name is Teju Adeyemi.
It's pushing me for the rest of the week, so it's like a boost.
Things were really tight.
Today, the way I see myself is completely different.
Teju, welcome to the program. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Now, knowing yourself, right? Mm-hmm. This happened to you at a very young age and it had a big effect on you growing up.
Yes, Pastor.
Tell us about that. How were things growing up?
Okay, so I would say that it started in primary school because I was bullied due to my height. Of course, being the tallest and you're a female as well, you don't always want to be bullied, but it happened. And it led to secondary school, especially when the guys would just take the mick out of my height, call me a llama, a giraffe. So due to that, it built a lot of insecurity.
A llama and giraffe.
Yeah.
Wow. We got called other things. You know, we used to take the mick out of people when they were tall. They were called lanky. Have you heard that word?
Yeah, I've heard that.
But llama and giraffe, that's a new one. So how did that make you feel, just hearing those words as a young child?
I was really sad about it, especially because these were like the popular kids, I can say. So it's not a really good, and I can say, transition from primary school to secondary school to be bullied due to your height. So it made me really insecure. I remember when I would walk in the hallways, I would actually, whilst walking, I would actually bend down just so that I could really pass it, so that I could be the same length as the other children, just so I couldn't stand out. Yeah.
So that went on to secondary school, and of course you hit 11 years old, you got puberty and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Were you still bullied because of your height, or did you hold things and it led to other things?
I would say the bullying wasn't as much. I would get like mocked here and there, but I saw it as, okay, no one is going to really like me because I'm tall. No boy would want to like talk to me or like me because of that. So I did feel very insecure about that. I did feel like unhappy. I wouldn't wear heels. My mum would beg me, you know, you're beautiful, you're tall, but I say, no, I don't want to wear heels. I'm tall, how can I then wear heels as well? So this then led me to just being moody, being really sad about myself, to the point that I was actually watching pornography as well.
Let me just stop you there before we get to the pornography. As you said, you were bullied because of your height. But I want to know about your studies. Did it affect your studies? I mean, did it affect your behaviour at all? Your academic side of things?
Not at all.
No?
No, because I did quite well in my studies. It didn't affect me. I would just say more affected my mind. So yeah.
Okay. So when it came to, you just mentioned about pornography. How did, you know, being bullied about your height lead to pornography? I'm assuming that watching pornography gave you some sort of comfort or something like that. Can you explain?
Yes, Pastor, it did. It was like just to, I can say, experiment, just to know like what was really out there. I wouldn't have to like think about what I was going through. So I'll just watch it, just to watch it. I wouldn't say it was like a major like addiction or anything, but I'll just watch it.
Let me ask you, how did you get into it in the first place? Was it at school or what happened?
Okay, so it was actually in year 6. I was sleeping over at a friend's house, and she, I can say, tricked me, said, we're going to watch a movie about a girl that runs away, etc. So I was like, okay, let's watch it. But then when she put it on, it was not that at all. It was something completely different. And I was just a bit like, I was like, a make role. But then since then, that's when I started watching it. I thought, okay, it was okay, my friend is watching it, I can watch it too. So I was watching it on TV, but I'll lower down the volume, I'll watch it on my phone, like I'll just watch it, thinking that it was okay.
Year 6 is what age?
So year 10. I mean,
How old
10
were
years
you?
old.
About 10 years old?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're still at primary school?
Yeah.
Then. And so people say that watching pornography is just harmless fun. But we know in our experience that it can lead to, you know, very serious things later on. Watching pornography, where did it lead you to?
Okay, so at first it was my mind. My mind was completely twisted in a way that I would look at maybe like a person or like an object, and it would be very, like I would see things in a sexual way at times. And due to that, I wanted what I saw on the TV, I wanted to, I can say, put into practice myself. So I was speaking to different guys online. I was...
So you weren't doing this before online, but now you start to speak to boys?
Yes.
And what was the idea or the intention?
For me, to be sincere, Pastor, I just wanted to just speak to someone. I just wanted to follow the crowd. Because at that age in secondary school, a lot of the girls were speaking to guys, not guys from our school though, it's guys from other schools in around Southeast London. So then my friends would be like, oh, this person thinks you're pretty, try to speak to this person. And I would actually do it. But because of who I was, I can say innocent, I would make sure it wouldn't lead anything further. It would just be like, oh, we're just friends. Like I'll just see them, hi, you okay, etc. Because to other people, I was seen as like innocent. So I would make sure it wouldn't lead to that. There was an occasion where a guy did want to like do things, but I just knew that it wasn't right. Like I just knew, so I wasn't really interested at all. But even though I was watching pornography, I did want to speak to guys, etc. It never led to that. It was only until I had a boyfriend that I said, okay, I have a boyfriend. We can do. So what I saw by watching pornography, I was doing the same thing.
Right.
So the only thing I didn't do was to have sex, but it was like I was just doing what I saw online, thinking that it was okay.
Pastor Raymar, we see here again the subject of pornography coming up, and it's rife now. It's everywhere nowadays, right? And she said she watched it, she saw it on the phone, and we see that how dangerous it can be on a young person's mind, because many people who've come on the program, young people especially, they said that when they've seen pornography, it doesn't end there. They start looking at the opposite sex on the street, right? These images start coming up. Their mind is distorted.
It changes the mind. It's like a drug. If you have seen there was a documentary that spoke about this sometime. It's the same reaction that a drug addict has. The same kind of reaction that a person who's addicted or take part in this kind of thing have, the same reaction and the same drive. And of course, as drugs normally lead to other things, or once the person starts to get involved, it lead to other behavior and other things, it's the same thing. So she started to be online, she started to be flirting, started to be involved. Exactly, because it opens up a lot of avenue, a lot of things to the person. And it put the person's life at risk. For some people, like you said, they might think that, oh, but that is nothing. Maybe this person's there now and think that that is nothing. Maybe they start out, like you said, not with an intention to do anything. But that is how it normally happens. It starts from very small until it leads to a lot of disaster. Maybe this person is watching us now and is in a mess. And they didn't set out to be in a mess. Nobody set out and say, I'm going to make my life a mess. Nobody get up one day and say, now I'm going to do something that I'm going to destroy my life, I'm going to destroy my family, I'm going to destroy my marriage. The person set out, like you said, being bullied, and she want to distract herself. And the person finds something to distract themselves without realizing what was going to lead to.
So Teju, you know, from watching pornography, it went on to other things as well. Tell us, how did that change your behavior? Because from what you're saying, you're looking for acceptance. Where did it lead to next?
Okay, so Pastor, I would say that from following crowds, I was going to parties, I tried smoking, I tried drinking, but it just wasn't me. Like I knew it was not
In other
me.
words, you did these things to try to fit in.
Literally, Pastor.
And there are people that would do these things and now they're hooked on it, right?
Yeah.
And they're still hooked on it, and they're grown up, they're married with kids, they've got grandkids, and now it's even worse. So you were looking to fit in somewhere, but you still didn't know yourself, right? What did you try to do in order to kind of fit in?
So I remember there was even when I was in a party, a boy looked at me and said, like, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. And that's when it really hit me that, whoa, like I actually don't belong here. But there was other things that I did try as well. I wanted to be a goth at one point, wearing dark clothes, wearing like scarves, but like didn't have the fingertips. Just like wearing like different jewelries.
Did you actually become a goth or start wearing black clothes? Or was it just a thought in your head?
I was. And I was also listening to like music as well, like rock music, indies. I remember like my friends would like give me suggestions. Oh, listen to this, try this, now listen to it. And it's like I would force myself to really like it, but I did not like it. I just wanted to be accepted.
Did you have any friends that were goths or used to dress in dark clothes and things
They
like
weren't
that?
goths, but they were interested in like rock music, but more indies. So they like go to like bands and like concerts and stuff. Yeah.
So you're going through basic identity crisis.
Yeah.
Right? You didn't know who you were, right? Were there any other negative things that happened to you?
Yes. So whilst all of that was going on, I used to cry myself to sleep for no reason. Or there'll be times when I just didn't enjoy maybe my day, or I just didn't like myself. I wanted to commit suicide as well by slitting my wrist.
So why did you want to take your own life?
I would say that I just didn't like myself. It's just funny because outside, all different areas of my life, everything was actually fine. My family was fine, education was fine, my friends, like everything was fine. But I would say the inner battles was mostly inside of me as to why I wanted to take my life. Because I was always moody, I was always sad, like just generally sad, like just crying myself to sleep for no reason.
And how old were you at the time?
At that time, I would say I was like around 14.
Really?
14, yeah.
You know, home life was okay, but
Fine.
because of identity crisis, you don't know who you were. It's like your world, you just want to end, right?
Yes, Pastor.
Pastor Rayma, we see here, again, as you just mentioned, that everything is good around her. But if there is this inner battle, there's a struggle inside of you. In her case, it was, you know, trying to fit in. But how many adults, they don't know where they belong in life, right? They don't have their friends anymore. Things have gone badly around them and they don't know what to do. They're lost.
There are many people that pass the age. Some people might think that it's just a matter of being a teenager, but there are some people that they're past teenager a long time, but they're still having this struggle. They're still having this battle. And one thing I was listening to Taju, and you see, she was willing to follow so many different suggestions and advice, and even thoughts that came to her, because I'm sure that some of the things were just inside of her. She was willing to act on certain things. She was willing to do what people said. But how many times there are people that come to us, there are people that, you know, they approach us, maybe they're watching us right now and they need help. But sometimes the person is not willing to do something different than what they have been, you know, used to. The person is not willing to try faith, is not willing to give God a chance. They are willing to try everything else except God.
Right.
They are willing to follow every advice. They're willing to do everything except God.
Yeah. So look, if you are this person who is experimenting, one thing doesn't make you happy, you're going to try something else. Another thing, right? So, but you're still not happy. Then please stay with us, because after the break, we're going to help you find yourself. And everything boils down to faith. Faith in God. You're going to hear how Teju found herself. Obviously, you've seen how she is now. You're seeing her. She's, you know, she's the opposite of what she described about herself before. And after the break, you're going to hear her story. We'll see you right after this.
Time is an illusion. There is only the now.
So now's a good time?
Oh.
She with you?
I thought she was with you.
If it's in the cinema, it's in On Screen. On Screen on MyTV. Get all the recent news updates with France 24. Watch France 24 on MyTV. Football, football and football. More football than ever. Championships and Bundesliga legends are closer than you think with Kickoff. Watch Kickoff on MyTV. Latest digital inventions, cyber concerns and much more uncovered in Shift. Everything you need to know about the modern digital world. Watch Shift on MyTV.
Welcome back to Finding Answers. Now, if you just joined us, tonight's topic is knowing who you are. My guest for this evening, Teju, has been explaining, how she went through an identity crisis. She didn't know who she was. She was trying everything in order to fit in. Welcome back, Teju.
Thank you.
Now, please tell us, how did faith help you? You discovered faith, right? You found faith and you found yourself. Tell us then, how did you find faith?
Okay, so I was actually invited by my friend to a place where he was worshipping.
Okay.
And I went. I was very open-minded because at that time I wasn't going to any other place to worship. I was always at home, etc. But then he invited me because he understood the things that I was going through. I could say even see it himself.
So he believed in God?
Yes, he did.
Did you believe in God?
I actually did, but I never knew him. Like, I never understood about him. Mm-hmm. I heard about him, but I never really knew who he was.
So you trusted this friend?
Yeah.
You went along?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us, how was your first visit there?
It was very different. Very, very different. It was just different. And because I hadn't been in such a long time and I was very open-minded to it, I was very attentive to the inspirational messages that I was hearing, how things could change, etc. And it's like, it was as if it was like pinpointed to me, especially due to the situations that I was going through. So I really, really enjoyed it.
So you heard a message or messages regarding specifically what you were facing?
Yeah.
When you heard that, what did you think? Did you think, wow, can my life really change? Right?
I can say I was at a point where I was thinking, like, can my life actually really change? Because I've been going through this for such a long time, and I am actually tired and I'm fed up of it. Like, what can I do, sort of thing? And I remember I was hearing other people's stories, they went through this and then, this changed. And I was like, whoa, like, the same can happen to me then. And I was willing to just literally go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, what help did you get there? And what did you do after that help?
Okay, so I spoke to advisors who helped me in regards of the situation, and they really made me to understand that I was putting a mask on in terms of not knowing who I was, trying different things, etc. So I had to be real to myself, and that was really, really hard. I had to cut off certain things that I was doing, had to cut off things that negative influences, people that weren't right, to be able to be true to who I was, because like I can even say they were adding to this identity crisis, not knowing who I was. And I had to be very strong-minded as well, to be very like, no, this is what I want, this is who I am, and just to go forward from there. Mm-hmm. So when they would advise me, they will tell me, okay, start doing this. It's like I was just doing bit by bit, not just jumping, but bit by bit, and I was seeing it in changes from that.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned something very interesting. Pastor Rayma, the advisor, spoke to her and said, you have to remove the mask. So it was like whatever environment she was in, she would put on this mask. I've left this environment, or these friends, or this trend is not working for me. I'm going to go elsewhere and put on another mask and try to fit in. And that's what many people are doing now. They're putting on a mask to please everyone else, but still not finding the answer for themselves.
And if you look at them, you might think that they're happy, and they might even say they're happy as well. I'm fine with who I am. Or this is me. Sometimes they have this expression of, this is who I am.
Yeah.
But today I heard something that was I found very interesting. Someone said, if you search for yourself, you find God. And if you search for God, you find yourself.
Right.
There's no way that you can find yourself or know yourself without knowing God, because God is the one who created the person. And sometimes there are people that we're not talking about religion. This person might think, but I have my religion, or I don't have religion. Taju didn't find a religion. What she found was faith in God, and it helped her to identify, to know herself. Then she could stop being what people want her to be, or what she was forced, or what she felt like she had to be. Mm-hmm. And that is what this person needs. That's what this person wants to find as well. And I'm sure that the story of Taju can inspire many, many people, because once you find, my friend, that faith, once you discover that power that is inside of you, it's impossible for your life to remain the same. you are not going to be the same. You're not going to be influenced by people. We're not here trying to convince you. This testimony is not to convince you. It's just to show you. You're the one that is going to come to your own conclusion, because if this person's honest, Pastor Michael, maybe they're up late now in the night, or maybe they have been busy doing so many things. If the person's honest with themselves, they're going to realize, this is not who I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that's when the change starts.
So, Teju, going back to you, you received like advice. Yeah. You were told, remove the mask. Did that kind of sink in with you? Did you understand when they first said that to you? You know what, I'm pretending, I'm being like a hypocrite?
Pastor, even before going to the person, it's like I had already understood that I was being fake. I can say when someone is fake and they have a mask for too long, they get tired and it gets to a point where it's just like, oh, what's the point? That's exactly the state that I was in. Right. Like, what is actually the point? Because putting up a front, like a show, it gets really tiring. Yeah. So I really wanted to be true to myself that, okay, Teju, look, even though the truth is ugly, you are like this, but you can be able to receive help. So yes, it did sink in, and I took it for myself, and I was able to actually work on myself in regards to that. So
I take it you started praying, right, and asking God to help you with this. I'm sure, were you being true in your prayer, in telling God, sharing with him, you know what, I don't like who I am, I don't like being like this, help me? Was this the type of prayers you were saying?
Yeah, but one thing that even up to now, I'm really sincere. Like, even if perhaps, because God, he knows everything, so maybe I've done something and it's a bit, I don't want to tell him, it's a bit embarrassing, but I will still tell him, okay, God, like today I was like this, I know it's not like me, but I was like this today, can you help me? Like, I'll speak to him as if it was like a conversation, as I'm having a conversation with you. It wasn't robotic. I was being real, like sincere. Right. And I believe he really understood.
And you mentioned that, like when you would go home or in a different environment, you started doing things that, as you said, it wasn't easy to do, but you let go of certain friends, you had to stop doing certain things that you were used to, right? In terms of the pornography, in terms of, I don't know, those friends you used to hang about with, what did you do there?
Okay, so I had to let go of my friends, stop the partying, like drinking, stealing. I had to really overcome the battle of like fainting all the time. Had to change my mindset in terms of being suicidal. But I believe the hardest thing to let go of was, at that time, my boyfriend. It was like an on and off thing, and there I was still being fake. So it was like, in the place of worship, I was there, like, you know, there, but it's like at home, I was speaking to him on the phone, he would come round to my house, would do things, and I was still in the same place of worship, in the same place of faith, but it's like I didn't know how to let go of that. I didn't want to, actually, until I made a decision, like, no, I have to let go of you. I really want to give my life to God, etc. But it's like I wasn't firm in my decision. I wasn't firm at all until I really made that decision. So that was really the hardest. And then since then, that's when things really started to move forward for me.
And tell you, life without this boyfriend of yours, how is it? Do you need him, in other words?
No, I really don't.
Do you need the pornography?
Not at all.
The partying?
No.
Dressing up to please other people?
Not at all.
You are you today. You found yourself, right?
Yeah.
You found who Teju is today. Describe that, please. How is Teju today? Who are you today?
So one thing I can say, I'm completely real. I'm very optimistic as well. I will say that I know who I really am. I have a very strong mindset as well. So yeah, I've finished university, I graduated, now I'm working in a really good job. My family's completely blessed as well. I have 2 of my other siblings also joining me as well.
Okay.
I'm helping other young people who were in the same situation as me, for them to be better, even better than me, for them to be great influences in life.
Right.
And yeah.
All right, brilliant. Thank you very much for coming, sharing your story with us. Okay. So there you have it, someone else who, through faith, was helped, right? And you can also find this faith as well. If you are going through this identity crisis, you don't know who you are, you're trying to fit in, you know, it's not just a teenage thing, right? I went through this as well. I would try to fit in as a young person at school, trying to fit in to please everyone, but I didn't know who I was. And maybe this is you now, and you are you know, you're a grandparent, you're a parent, right? You're very successful in your career, but you still can't seem to fit in. Pastor Raymar, we are going to be praying for this person after the break, right? But faith is able to help this person as it helped Teju.
To awaken what is inside of them, to awaken this power that this person has. Taju, everything was inside of her. What she received was just the advice, was just the guidance, and she was able to put it into practice, but it was already inside of her. Yeah. And it's already inside of you, my friend. Everything is already there. What you need is the strength, is to awaken your faith, is to put what you have inside of you to work. And this prayer that we are going to do at the end of the program could be the kickstart of something great and extraordinary in your life.
So stay with us, all right? After the break, myself and Pastor Raymar will be talking more about this subject. And remember, if you don't want to be that horse tied to the chair anymore, you don't want to be controlled by other things, other people, situations around you, then you can untie that rope and start a new life, a freer life, a better life. We'll see you right after this break.
The matters of the heart are the most bothersome.
We like to explore in details what people have been through, what couples have been through, so that we can highlight some points.
Learn to love intelligently. Watch Love Talk on MyTV. Meet the amazing SUV Jaguar, the stylish Fiat, a vintage VW, a sporty Honda, and the green smart ED. Drive it, test it, know it. We have cars for any taste. Explore vehicles and their features with our weekly show. Watch Drive It on MyTV.
Do the maths. Changing your life is not as simple as changing your hairstyle, your shirt, or rearranging the furniture in your living room. You're talking about years of deep-rooted habits, behaviours and problems that are not going to change overnight. Many may say, think positively, but the trouble with that is that you can't do or change anything with just thoughts. But add action into the equation and the outcome can be different. Let's do the maths. Positive thinking plus action equals a change. Whatever it is, if the change is significant, if it's worthwhile, then it will have to take time, effort, and homework from you.
Watch The Chrissy B Show on MyTV.
Welcome back to Finding Answers. Now, tonight's topic is knowing who you are. And I just want to round off this last part by showing you that picture again of the horse tied to a chair. Please, have a look at this. And as you can see, again, maybe this is the picture of your life. You don't know who you are. If you can come back to us now. Now, Pastor Raymar, we see how people's lives, especially Teju's, her life was tied to people wanting to fit in. But as she said herself, you are never happy trying to fit yourself in. You get tired acting. She became a good actress, but how long can you act that way? You can't. You know, there's a time that they're gonna crumble, right?
Exactly. The person cannot keep up with that appearance and trying to please so many different people, because you have to be in so many different situations, so many different places. Mm-hmm. If each time you're going to change, to please this person, for sure it's going to take a toll on the person.
You know, Pastor Raymar, There are people that tell us who believe in God, practice what you preach. And if we don't, if you make one slight mistake, they call us a hypocrite, right?
For sure.
They judge us just like that. But I can say the same thing for them. If you're putting on this front, if you're saying to everyone, I'm fine, I'm happy, with your face, with your appearance, but the truth is, you are not happy, then who's the hypocrite? Who is the one that is false? Who is the one that is fake? It's not us, because this is who we are, right? We don't need to pretend. When you come to faith, when you know God, you don't need to be fake. You are who you are in front of any and every single person. You don't have to change your appearance. You don't have to suck up to the boss. You don't have to do anything. You're just who you are. You are who you are. If people accept you or not, that's their problem. We just continue doing what we're doing. And maybe, as I said, you are unhappy, trying to pretend. But Pastor Rema, this person, if they're watching now, if they can identify with anything that we've said here tonight, through faith, their life can change.
It's the beginning of this person's change already. Once the person can identify, can be sincere, everything starts with the sincerity.
Mm-hmm.
If this person can be sincere and say, okay, I realize that is who I have been, but I don't want to be like that, then this is the beginning of the change in your life, my dear friend. Once you can identify, the worst things when the person don't know, the person think that I'm happy, I'm the life of the party, people are, and it's when the person think that they're deceiving how can I say it? They have people in their hand, in the palm of their hands,
yes.
And they don't realize that they're the ones that is being deceived. So when the person realizes that I'm not what I really portray, that's when the change really starts.
Pastor Rema, who this person really is, they know who they are when they're alone. And maybe
Exactly.
they're right now, you're in your room, you're in your living room, you're on your own, and you are sad. You can identify with tonight's story, and you are crying. If you're not crying tears, you are crying inside, because you know that the testimony tonight has hit a nerve with you, and you don't know what to do. You're in your 40s, 50s even, and you can't think, maybe even thinking, oh, they've paid this young girl, this young woman to be here to tell her story. No, it's all true. She found faith. She was able to, humble herself and say, you know what? God, I need you. And she found help, like everyone else, on finding answers. So what about you? Maybe you believe in God. Maybe you do believe in God, but you've backed off because of a small situation, a small incident, something that happened in your life many years ago. You turned away. You disconnected from God. Well, I can say you can reconnect with God. You can, but it will take for you to forget all that happened in your past and start this new life. And this new life can start right now with this prayer. So I want to challenge you. If you're watching us now on TV, if you're watching us on YouTube, then this is your opportunity to reconnect with God, find faith, and find who you really are. The choice is yours. And if you want to accept this challenge, then we're going to pray right now here at the cross. We're going to present you, your life, all the hurt, all the pain that you've gone through. We're going to present you to God now. If you want to join us, well then, it's now time for prayer.
Prepare now for the moment of prayer. If you would like us to make a prayer concerning your family and loved ones, send your name and prayer request to help@findinganswers.tv.
My Lord and my God, in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, Lord, I want to thank you for tonight's guest who has come on and shared how she found faith, how she found help to find herself, my God. But I'm sad because I know there are people watching this program who haven't found themselves. They are hurt. They are pretending. They're putting on a mask, my God. They are actors and actresses, trying to show everyone that everything's okay, when the truth is, they are not. My God, we have people going through this identity crisis. They're trying to find themselves. And by doing this, trying to find peace, they're getting themselves in trouble, my God. We have people who are now heavily addicted. We have people that are trying to please their partner who is abusive, my God. We have people who are trying to forget their pain by going out and trying to find peace. Peace and joy in a nightclub, my Lord, by going out and being with many different friends. But the truth is, only they know who they are when they're alone in their bedroom. When they're alone and no one is there to put on a show. That's when this person knows who they are. Maybe right now, as I'm praying, this person is sad, hurting, wanting to remove the mask, my God, but they don't know how to. They're hiding behind that mask, my God. They don't want to remove it, my Father, and reveal the hurt and pain that's inside of them. That's why we pray now at this cross. And I ask you, my Lord, to help this person, to visit them in their home. May your spirit that touched Teju's life, touch this person now, my God. Remove this hurt, remove this anguish, this pain, my God, this hurt, my Father, this turmoil inside of this mind and heart. And as Teju found peace, she found herself. May this person also find themselves as well. May they find who they are. May, my God, this person stop pretending and be true to themselves, my God. So touch this heart right now, this troubled heart. Remove, Father, all that has been inside of them and touch them now and give them your peace. Your peace, my Lord, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. I say to you, receive now what you have not had, maybe ever in your life. Maybe you had peace before, but you don't know what that is anymore. Receive now God's peace. Receive now what we have freely received from God. Receive Him now in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. My God, I thank you. I thank you for hearing and answering our prayer in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And if you believe, say amen. So, there you have it. We have said the prayer for you, and I believe that this prayer has been heard and answered by God, as we believe it always has. If you would like to contact us, you want to contact me, or you want to contact Pastor Raymar, then send us an email, address it to myself or Pastor Raymar, and we will get back to you. We will answer your email. We want to help you find what we have found, what Teju has found, okay? So until the next time, have a wonderful evening. The number's still on the screen. You can have a look at it now. Give us a call and speak to someone if you wish. The number is 0207 686 6300. Until the next time, have a wonderful night. God bless you.
This program is brought to you by UCKG.